Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, 1954. There were many cases that were involved in helping the desegregation of schools come about. Plessy versus Ferguson, 1896.
Upheld Louisiana's laws requiring that train passengers be segregated by race, established the doctrine of separate but equal, which then led to the controversial debate over whether the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause was being violated. No state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. It was later ruled that no, it was not being violated.
McLaurin versus Oklahoma State, 1950.
Ruled that Oklahoma State University violated the Constitution by keeping its one Negro student in the back of the class and the cafeteria.
Sweat versus Painter, 1950.
Required the University of Texas to admit an African American student to its previously all-white law school.
And the case that had the biggest impact was Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, 1954. In 1954, 8-year-old Linda Brown was involved in this Supreme Court case. Linda Brown and her family lived 5 blocks from a white school and 21 blocks from a black school. Even though she lived so close to the white school, she was not allowed to attend it due to her race. Having to travel 21 blocks to school every day was not only stressful, but it was completely unnecessary and downright ridiculous. There was a big difference between white schools and black schools.
White schools at the time were larger than black schools. They had better supplies because they had more funding from the government. And because of these better supplies, because of all this money that they had, their students had more opportunities.
Because of this, Linda Brown's father took this case to court. He argued that segregated schools stripped his daughter and other black children of equal opportunities and education. The court deliberated over this case. Ruling in its favor would help to end Jim Crow laws, which would anger the Southern white men, but it would help colored people become more equal in society. After consideration, on May 17, 1954, the unanimous decision of 9-0 was made, and it ended segregated schooling. Segregated schools were now viewed as unconstitutional, and Linda Brown was allowed to attend the white school that was 5 blocks from her house. The impact this case had on society was great. This was the first time the federal government was taking a stance for civil rights. This strengthened the civil rights movement and brought back the state's cry for their own rights. It was a huge step towards gaining equality. The end.